For Hoco Journal, I'm Alex Baker. In and around Howard County, acupuncture is becoming increasingly popular. At HCC, the Wellness Center offers free auricular acupuncture throughout the year. One of the most popular acupuncture services in not only Howard County but Anne Arundel County as well is Edgewater Acupuncture. Today I have Meaghan Walker and Sarah Wayner, who both work at Edgewater Acupuncture, and they're going to talk about the art of acupuncture and other projects that they do. Sarah, Meaghan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So first question we'll start off with is just give us a basic description of what acupuncture is.
Acupuncture is a system of medicine that was mostly from China, but there's also Japanese and Korean forms of acupuncture that most people agree is about 3,000 years old. And it's a complete system of medicine.
Okay, and so how exactly does it work?
That's a good question. So what we do is we place tiny needles in the body along meridian points, and there's sort of two major theories. One is that getting acupuncture helps to shift your body out of the fight or flight response and into the rest and digest response. And from that place, our bodies are miraculous and can really do a lot to heal themselves. Another theory is that by picking points along particular pathways, we're able to affect different systems in the body specifically.
And so why would someone need acupuncture?
Wow, that's a good question. So acupuncture is kind of good for everything. It is helpful as a preventative medicine, and it's also helpful to treat acute issues. The main reason that people come in is for pain, because that's actually the thing that's been researched the most, and the way that people think about acupuncture a lot is pain in the joints. Back pain and shoulder pain is two of the major things that I see in the treatment room. But acupuncture is also really helpful with the systems. It helps with allergies and asthma. It helps with the menstrual cycle, with fertility and menopause. It helps with digestion. So it can also help a lot with anxiety and depression. So acupuncture kind of can address a lot of different things, and it can be good both when you're feeling well to stay well and when something's coming up and you need some extra support.
It's also really great for stress. A lot of times people will come for a specific issue. For example, their knee hurts, and then they get so much other benefit from the treatment besides the pain relief by sleeping better, getting sick less often, and just feeling better. A lot of times patients will notice that people around them will say, you seem more relaxed, what are you doing? Or you're a lot nicer to be around. What's going on? And people find that they're able to deal with stressful situations better when they're getting treatment. Acupuncture is one of the few modalities that treats physical problems as well as emotional issues that go along with that. And a lot of times, especially with pain or when people have an injury, the fear that the pain will continue forever or that it will be debilitating or continue to get worse can be a barrier for people. So acupuncture can help deal with that emotional fear as well as actually relieving the pain itself.
Absolutely.
And so is acupuncture therapy a one-time thing? Do you do it once and then you feel better, or is it something you need to do on a certain time basis?
It's really more of a crock pot than a microwave. It's the acupuncture doesn't have any side effects, and it's natural. The downside being that it works slower. A lot of times people are, they're accustomed to taking medicine and noticing an immediate effect, and acupuncture doesn't work like that. Most people that come for an issue related to pain will notice some difference after the treatment. I would say about 80 to 90% of people will notice something after one treatment. But when you've had a problem for a period of time, your body gets into a certain pattern that it's used to. So each treatment is teaching your body that there's a different possibility. And it's sort of like when you go to the gym, you don't go to the gym once, you have to go multiple times. So it's a process. It's not like a one-time fix. Although sometimes, there are cases where people have a problem and in one treatment it's completely gone. But for anything that's been there for a period of time or that's chronic and very severe, and if the person has other health problems, it's a process. And normally, most people are feeling significantly better after 8 to 10 treatments.
And we've noticed in our clinics that the more treatment you get over the shorter amount of time, the faster things will change. So you can come weekly for a while and notice a lot of changes that way. But if you came twice a week or 3 times a week, things would move more quickly. So people get to design their treatment around what's going on. So if they're maintaining more long-term chronic issues, then they might come sort of on a more regular basis than if they're coming for something more acute. And then as you start to feel better, you get a really good sense of what maintenance looks like, how often that is. And that's different for everybody.
Yeah, in our clinic, we really try to make it as flexible as possible so that people can come in as often as they need to. We take walk-ins, for example. So if people just happen to be in the area or they're on their lunch break, they can just swing by and get a treatment. So we try to make it as easy as possible for people to get in so that they can get better faster.
So are there different types of acupuncture?
There's a lot of different types of acupuncture. Like I said before, there's acupuncture that comes from China. There's stuff from Japan. And each acupuncturist gets a foundation in school, but then as you learn other things and gain experience, it's kind of like cooking. So 2 people might make the same, they might make hamburgers, but it's going to taste different. And also every time you make it, it's going to be different. So there's as many different practitioners as there's different types of acupuncture.
Right, and the clinics that we are in, and both in Edgewater and Columbia, are community acupuncture clinics. So what that means is that we treat in an open studio. We have up to 10 recliner chairs, and people come and they get needled below the knees and below the elbows, and sometimes points on the ears or on the head, and that those points are actually able to address the entire body. And so community acupuncture, it started in 2002 out in Portland, and it's a national movement. But the idea is that we're able to make acupuncture more accessible. It's more affordable. People can come as often as they need to get better. And it's a really accessible as well because of not only our hours, we're open weekday evenings and we're open on the weekends, but also because you can bring a friend, you can see someone else get needled before you get your first needling so that you are able to really have a sense of what's going to happen. So that's, if you ask about like kinds of acupuncture, that is a way that we treat that maybe is unique to the area.
And so what does acupuncture feel like when you're undergoing the treatment?
Well, most people fall asleep in the chair, so if that gives you any indication. You will occasionally feel, some points you won't feel at all, and some will kind of pinch a little bit, but they all calm down almost right away. And a lot of people feel different. People feel differently. So some people notice that they feel more kind of like heavy and relaxed. Other people fall asleep and they wake up energized and ready to go. So it kind of depends on the person.
Yeah, and the way that our clinic is set up is that it's more like being in somebody's living room than it is being in a doctor's office. So especially people that are seeing, for whatever reason, a lot of different doctors and sometimes have, fear of going to yet another appointment. A lot of people walk in and we just see like their shoulders relax and they're just really happy to be there because it's just very relaxing when you walk in.
I think that fear of needles is probably the biggest obstacle to treatment for so many people. And we have so many clients that will say they themselves are surprised that they're coming back, that they're in the room, that they're getting pins, and they're telling their friends and family about it, and their friends and family are surprised that they're getting needles. So I think people have this idea in their mind that the needles are really an obstacle, but they're teeny tiny and they're really not painful, and they help you relax like immediately.
Yeah, the needles are tiny and solid. It's not at all like getting your blood taken or getting a shot. It's nothing like that. And the needles are not going into nerves. That would be very painful. So it's nothing like that whatsoever. And even the needle phobic come in and, they just close their eyes and, I'll put the first needle in. They're like, that's it. And then they laugh because they feel like, okay, it's just like the build up that it was going to be this big, terrible
people
thing.
Say, gosh, I can't believe I waited so long. I was scared and it was nothing. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's really, and I tell people like, you can close your eyes and, when people come in and they confess their fear of needles, I say, nobody comes in here and says, I love needles, stick me with 1,000. Nobody says that. But I wouldn't be able to inflict pain on people all day long. So it's nothing like what people think it is.
Maybe people are just scared of needles because they've seen the Hellraiser movies too many times.
Oh,
Right,
acupuncture
yes.
in the media does not help us at all.
No.
And so what would you say is the public's biggest misconception about acupuncture?
I think there's a little bit of, some people think that it's very woo-woo and they don't understand, like how it could possibly work. Like, how could a needle in my hand help my back? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And it really doesn't. But when you think about it as a completely different system, like not translatable to Western medicine, it kind of makes sense. And I think another barrier would be cost. A lot of acupuncture in this country is very expensive, around the order of $80 to $100 a treatment. We treat based on a sliding scale of $15 to $35 per visit, and then we have a one-time $10 paperwork fee so that people can come as often as they need to actually see results. So I would say the idea that it's a little weird and out there, and then also cost being a barrier.
I would say, too, I think some people think they need to be into it, like they have to be into the New Age movement, or they have to understand acupuncture or know something about chakras, or they have to understand it, or they have to be like, it's some sort of belief practice that they have to get into. And that's absolutely not true. You can come and enjoy the benefits of acupuncture without thinking that it's working. You can notice that it works anyway, and without understanding why it works, or without it being anything other than a treatment that you receive that helps you with your day move through whatever your issues are.
Okay, and do you still use acupuncture yourselves?
Absolutely.
Yeah, big time.
Definitely.
That's so funny because when you said that, I was going to say I get weekly treatment. I've been getting treatment for about 13 years now. I got into it as a patient, and it was so helpful for me, and it was so easy. There was no sort of like conceptualizing that I had to do. It just helped immediately with consistent treatment. So I've been getting regular treatment for a while now, and I'll notice when I miss it for sure. I'll get a little cranky in the car and go, I think it's time for treatment.
Yeah, I'm definitely less grumpy and more pleasant to be around when I get treated. And I also have a 2-year-old, and when he was an infant, I treated him a lot before he was aware of what I was doing. And now he doesn't want me to touch his feet. He doesn't like people to touch his head. So when he gets a little bit older, I'll be treating him more. But yeah, even him as an infant, he was getting acupuncture.
And so what made you want to choose a career as an acupuncturist?
That's good. For me, it was the combination of seeing how much it was effective and how helpful it was. And for me, it really made a difference. So I felt like I wanted to be able to offer that to other people. And then also just seeing my practitioner and feeling like being an acupuncturist is a job where you really can bring your whole self to it. There wasn't like a whole lot of schmoozy, corporate-y PR. I don't know. Like she was a very authentic person, and most of the acupuncturists that I know, like, you're able to just connect with people in an authentic way, which I think is really a relief for me. It's nice to just be myself at work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was really happy with the results that I got from treatment, and I wanted to be able to provide the same for other people. And I like interacting with a lot of different types of people. We see a wide variety of people in our clinic, and that's really cool to just be able to see so many different types of people, and it's always something new and helping people, and they're just happy to come in, and it's just a positive environment.
Yeah, and the clinic in Columbia opened last June, so we've been open a year. And as far as working in a community acupuncture clinic, it's the same thing. For me, it's just noticing that people, I used to have a private practice before this, so noticing that people are getting results, like real results, because they're coming off, they can afford to come as often as they need to get better, and being able to be like a respite for people in their day, and that's it. They're like back out into it. So something about that is really nice.
And so describe the process it takes to become a licensed acupuncturist. Like, what type of education do you need, and how long does it take to get the license?
That really depends on what state you live in. The state of Maryland, you have to have a bachelor's degree, a master's of acupuncture, There is a national exam that's actually not required in Maryland, but just about every other state requires it. It's a lot of schooling. When Sarah and I went, it was not as expensive as it is now. But I guess that's true of school everywhere, being pretty expensive.
Yeah, so it's a 3.5-year master's program, and then we're board certified and licensed in the state of Maryland, so we have to keep our boards up by maintaining, continuing education credits, and then we both are nationally certified, so we maintain that as well.
And so how long has Edgewater Acupuncture been around?
I opened the clinic in April of 2010, so a little over 5 years.
That's the one in Edgewater.
Right.
And then the clinic in Columbia just opened. We just had our 1-year birthday in June. So we're over by Howard High on 108, right next to the Columbia Yoga Studio. But yeah, so the original clinic has been open for 5 years. Meaghan works at the original clinic, and then I'm Sarah. I work at the Columbia clinic. It's been open for about a year.
What are some of the projects you've worked on outside of Edgewater Acupuncture?
That pretty much takes up all of our time. But also, I'm part of a partnership that provides auricular means ear acupuncture over at the Baltimore City Detention Center. It's part of their drug court program, and Sarah treats the men over there.
Yes, so I work over at the jail 3 days a week, and we offer acupuncture as part of a program that is helping folks detox off of drugs and get sober.
Okay, and so last question I have for you is, where can listeners go to learn more about Edgewater Acupuncture?
Okay, well, we have a great website. It's edgewateracupuncture.com, and acupuncture is ACU puncture, so edgewateracupuncture.com. We have a nice video on the website, all of our paperwork. There's testimonials from patients. And the location of the clinic is off of 108 over by Red Branch Road, as Sarah said, in the same building as the Columbia Yoga Center. It's 8950 Route 108, Suite 113. And the phone number over there is 410-206-4315. And right now the clinic's open Tuesday and Thursday from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And we take appointments and walk-ins.
And we also have a really nice online scheduling system. So people who don't like talking on the phone can just go to our website and with a few clicks make an appointment.
Okay. Acupuncture is a type of medicine that dates all the way back to 3,000 years ago in the days of ancient China. Today in Howard County, it is widely popular, even here on campus at HCC. Much of this is due to the work of Edgewater Acupuncture, who has branches in both Howard and Anne Arundel County. I have been talking today with the members of Edgewater Acupuncture, Meaghan Walker and Sarah Weiner, to go into more depth about the healing power of acupuncture. Sarah, Meaghan, I want to thank you for coming on to the show today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. This has been awesome.
For Hoco Journal, I'm Alex Baker, and we'll be right back on Dragon Digital Radio.